Okay, so Freeman Guerrilla Warfare is a guerrilla warfare game. Pretty self-explanatory. This game is amazing and it's actually one of my favorite early access games. The developers KK Studios added it to Steam about a year ago and I purchased it 2 weeks after launch. So I've been with this game throughout all its updates and changes, and it has definitely changed for sure. I have 102 hours in this damn game, so I kind of feel obligated to talk about it considering how much I play it. So here we go. The game is extremely detailed in everything you do, but it manages not to overwhelm you somehow. You could literally
change your character, change all your units, take over cities, control commanders that can control your own units and cities, control the infrastructure and defend your own cities, take quests, become allies with factions, eradicate factions, join other allied factions in battle, capture enemy commanders, take prisoners and add them to your army, plunder villages, destroy bandit camps, return prisoners to their original faction for profit, and trade goods between captured cities.
It's a fucking lot. And it doesn't seem overwhelming one bit at all. The game has a lot of stuff to do, so I'm gonna use my natural selection skills to talk about some of the more important stuff, so not spoil it all for you, and so I'm not here for an hour and a half ranting on about everything about this game. So, Freeman Guerrilla Warfare has 2 game modes, campaign mode and campaign mode. Okay, one of the campaign modes is more like a quick play mode, so that's what I'm gonna be calling it. I don't know why the developers called it campaign mode when you're literally doing a campaign in the other mode, but okay. So, campaign mode and quick play mode. Quick play mode is basically campaign mode, but it's only battles with any faction in the game up to 150 units for each side. It takes out every mechanic besides a faction to play as and against, choosing your soldiers for each side, choosing the map, and the amount of soldiers on each side. Then you could just go fucking ham. There's also some preset battles you could choose from as well if you're too lazy to make your own battle. It's easy to get into, fun since you're, shooting people in the back of the head, and if you don't want to spend 20 hours building up a 100 person army just to lose them all, horribly in battle, then this is the mode that you want to play. But if you do want to spend 20 hours building up a 100 person army just to lose them, let me introduce you to campaign mode. Campaign mode is where you start off with a small group of soldiers, around 4 to 10, depending on the backstory you choose, and your goal is literally to conquer the entire fucking map and bring peace or terror to the people. It's fun as shit, but admittedly, it's actually really hard to get into considering you'll lose and then start over, try a different backstory just to see if you can get more soldiers or a better start this time. But once you've gotten past the 20 soldier mark, then you've basically survived the hardest, or easiest if you're fucking lucky, 1 to 2 hours in this game, so congratulations. By now you should have realized that you could change everything about your character, and the supplies you gain from battle you could sell and get more soldiers. But if you didn't know, you could also change everything that your soldiers wear as well and what they hold. So here's one of my endgame squads for example. I made them all look the same for maximum protection and ultimate swag, but some units have different special abilities, like the Grenader who always wants to have equipped with an RPG, or the Sharpshooter who will engage units at a longer range, so make sure that they always have a sniper rifle. Try to balance out each squad to give them ultra diversity out on the field. And never forget about your battle tactics. If you have enough soldiers, try to destroy the other force on both sides or cover one squad's ambush while the other one watches over. You can tell squads to hold fire to get the jump on them as well. There are so many ways to take on an encounter, it's actually really cool, but it does have some flaws, which I will get into later on in the video that I wish could be improved. So, let's skip forward a bit more, and you're eyeing up this faction that's not too powerful and you think you could take them on. You probably have around 30 to 50 troops right now, and you're thinking about taking that city that small faction holds. Let me tell you one thing right now. You're gonna want to set aside some units to garrison that town as soon as you capture it. Because if you don't capture that town and leave no people to defend it, then you're absolutely fucked. Everyone and their grandma is gonna be capturing that town. So, set aside at least 20 units to guard that town while you're off doing other stuff. At first, your town will be under consistent siege, and then you're gonna notice like a small period where nobody's attacking, and that's your time to act. You need to get as much shit done as possible right now. Get a commander, increase your garrison, attempt to finish off that faction that you took the town from. Now this is your grace period to officially establish yourself as a deadly force on the map. But hold on, let's backtrack to when you took that town. You got this text block, right? This officially means that you're an independent faction and now you could reasonably negotiate with other factions. And now you have full control over that town that you took with all the buildings up to the taxes. So, good luck managing that. But hey, now you have a town that gives you money. I recommend you become allies with the faction soon after you capture the town. It's just one less faction to worry about, to be honest. So that faction you took to town from is getting on your nerves, and you're thinking about destroying them and removing them from the map. To do this, you will need to accomplish 2 things to remove that faction from the game. You will need to capture all of the faction's towns, and capture that faction's commanders. Once you accomplish both of these tasks, the faction will be removed and you are 1 step closer to taking over the map. So, let's get forward a bit more now, and you've knocked out 1 to 3 factions, and you got a couple cities under your belt, and now you're definitely a force to be reckoned with. You probably by now know how commanders work, and that you can get them from captured towns or from capturing them from the enemy, and how to trade between your towns. So, now you're slapping cheeks and you got a couple armies, so good job. Skip forward again, and now you are officially the biggest faction in the game, but that does not mean that you won yet. And once you have taken over every faction and become the biggest faction in the game, then you will obtain this text block, and you will have obtained an ungodly amount of money and XP. So good job, you beat the game. I'm not going to spoil how much, I'm going to leave that surprise to you. But you will basically never have to go fucking killing anybody ever again. So, now that you complete the game, you're ready to play it all over again, right? Do the same exact thing twice? Yeah, no, I didn't think so either. The game has really low replay value right now. Extremely low replay value. Like 0 out of -10 replay value. Maybe if they added a faction that comes after you take over the entire map and tries to take everything that you just worked for. That would be nice. But right now the game basically has no replay value if you don't count the quick play mode. And it's really sad, because it's really fun, but after you complete the story, you really feel like you've done everything, because you probably have done everything that you can do. But that was all the good stuff, so let's start talking about the stuff that could be fixed. Starting with better AI. I am tired of sneaking up on the enemy and getting spotted right away. It ruins the creativity that I have in my brain when it comes to attacking enemies. Please fix this. And also lower the damn volume. I don't want to load up this game and just be blasted in my fucking ears every time. I literally have my volume settings like in the 10s, and that's not fucking good. And then the last thing, which could be fixed over time, it's the UI when you're playing. I don't want the entire screen filled with green or red whenever I'm battling somebody. It's satisfying as shit when you see green, scary as shit when you see red, but it's too much of the screen taken up of just the kill feed of people dying or getting killed. It's too much. But that's all the issues I've really had with this game. If you've encountered any issues, leave a comment down below, and like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you enjoyed this type of video. I'll make some more of them in the future. But yeah, that's it. Buy the game, $15 on Steam. Might be 20 now. I don't know. Buy it. Okay. Bye.